because I broke up with you via text? Because I totally own that was a dick move.
3 of my kind have been killed by the sticks that you made.
Sounds to me like you should take that up with the hunters, but...
Eventually we're gonna find a way in. And when we do, you're gonna die slowly.
Ready to die, mortal?
You sure about that?
How quaint. But you're gonna have to get pretty close to use that.
I think this is going to be an ongoing thing.
You ordered a large pepperoni and meatball?
Yes, sir.
Right on, man. That'll be $15.89.
What are you doing?
Just ordered a pizza. Is there a problem?
Yes! The house is surrounded by vampires!
Wait, what?
Still?
Yeah!
My bad, dude. I didn't realize that was still a thing.
You guys f***ing with me or something?
Ah!
You're next.
Well, I guess I probably can't just leave him on the doorstep. Well, that's one way to start the night. Vampires got a pizza guy, just had to drag the body in. Nah, we'll take care of it in the morning. I mean, it's not like he's going anywhere. Let's just keep the Halloween vibe going. All this death's kind of got me in the mood to make a tombstone. What do you think? Alright, so I'm going to make a tombstone out of craft foam because it's cheaper than real tombstones. At least for now anyway, inflation's out of control, am I right? But anyway, I'm starting with a cardboard template, and I folded this piece in half and cut it to make it a symmetrical shape. I didn't just fold this big piece because sometimes folding thick cardboard is annoying and it's hard to get it right down the middle. It's a whole thing. But yeah, that's the secret to making a shape that's the same on both sides. Fold cardboard in half and cut it. No need to thank me, I do it for you. And then I'm going to use this to trace a front and a back to my big fake tombstone. Then using a fresh blade, I'm going to cut the pieces out. Better get used to this part because we got a lot of pieces to cut out. I want my tombstone to have that sort of like platform that tombstones sit on sometimes. You know, the things that kind of look like a couple of steps. So I have to cut out a bunch of strips that I'm going to glue into some boxes, basically. And the measurements don't really matter on this one. You can just make them whatever size you find aesthetically pleasing. Next, I want to give the face a raised border. So I cut out a third face shape and cut the whole middle part out. Now it's time to start gluing stuff together, and I'm going to use the old go-to contact cement. I've explained contact cement before, but just in case this is your first exposure to it, the way it works is first you just apply it to every surface that you want to join together, and then let it dry for a few minutes, 5 to 10 depending on the weather, until the glue gets all like tacky and sticky, and then you join the pieces together, and that's all you got to do. Contact cement sticks to itself right away though, so make sure that you have your pieces all lined up as best you can before you start joining them together. That sure was fun. Now I'm feeling a little artsy, so I'm going to break out the foam clay and make a little skull to go to the top here. Foam clay is not great for like any really fine detail sculpting because it's like really soft and you want something firm to get sharp details, but you can still get a lot of nice shapes out of it. And I've heard that foam clay sticks to foam better when it's wet, so just dab a little water onto it. And also I use a little water on the foam clay itself because that makes it easier to smooth out all the surfaces. And then once that's dry, I sanded the edges to get them a little more flush, and I sanded off the corners just a little bit, just to make it a little more rounded. I feel like that adds to the stone vibe of it. And as you can see, we have a lot of seams where the foam meets, so to hide that, I'm going to fill it in with some quick seal. I'm using a little more water here to help spread it easier, and I'm trying to get it into all the seams, fill it up, and you want to get it as smooth as you can when you're applying it, because once it's dry, you can't really sand it, so you want to try to get a nice finish here as best you can. And then once I filled in all the seams, I'm going to add in some cracks, which is a little counterproductive now that I say it out loud, but it's going to add to the spookiness, I promise. Using a marker, I drew some guidelines for the cracks, and I also took a moment to put this embarrassing cliche RIP on it. God, I love being unoriginal. And then I used a wood burner to make all the cracks. If you're going to try to do this, make sure to do it in a well-ventilated area though, and be sure to wear a respirator, because I've said it before, but burning foam, not good to breathe. And we don't want someone working on your tombstone just yet, so be safe. And then one last thing I want to do before joining the sections together is to cut some holes out of the middle of the base parts here. That way I can put a stick in the ground and have it go up inside the tombstone so that when the wind blows it doesn't like knock it over or anything. It happens a lot and it's really annoying, so you definitely don't want to skip that step. Then I sealed the whole thing up with a couple layers of Plasti-Dip, and then coated it with some Krylon Matte Vintage Gray. I wasn't super thorough with the coats because I wanted to let a little of the black from the Plasti-Dip show through to make it look a bit more weathered and old. Then I used some acrylic black to make some of the little details pop more, like the eyes and the nose, the cracks, things like that. But after that I was still feeling like I could use a little more, so I mixed some black paint and some water to give it a black wash and just started smearing that junk all over to make it look all dirty and old and weathered. You can also use like browns and greens, things like that, just make it look all moldy and really aged, but I prefer the classic gray look, so I'm not going to go overboard with weathering, but it's always an option if you want to. And lastly, I added a bit of lighter gray to make some of the parts of the skull pop a little bit more. And I think with that, we're going to call this one done. So there you go. Just a quick little spooky build this week. Hopefully it inspired you to try making some decorations of your own for Halloween. And if nothing else, let it be a sobering reminder of your own mortality. Death is indeed inevitable.
Jesus!
Oh. That was weird. Well, sorry to startle you, man. Where am I?
Holy crap, man. We thought you were dead. Are you good?
I mean, my neck's a little sore, but... Oh, shit. I mean, other than this, I think I'm okay.
Look, dude, we live with a doctor. I'm gonna go find him. You should sit down.
Hey, dude, I don't want to sound weird, but there's something different about you.
Thanks, I guess.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, thank God. Vampire.
The old Trojan corpse. I really should have seen that coming. Starting to remember why I fell for her in the first place.
What? No, too close.
Oh yeah, totally. She almost got us with that one.
Us?
So, need a vampire corpse or anything?